Welcome to CAD with Mr. U. In today's video, we're looking at how to draw a hyperbola given the eccentricity. Now, in the previous video, we drew a parabola also given the eccentricity, and we also drew the tangent and normal to the parabola that was drawn. So perhaps you could visit that video after you have completed watching this one. We're going to start off with our units. And we're going to make sure that the units are in millimeters. And we're going to change the precision, the decimal precision to 0. All right? Press OK. All right, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to set up our layers. So we're going to go up to the Layer Properties Manager. We're going to click this icon and we're going to make a new layer. The first layer that we're going to make is a construction layer. All right, the next layer we're going to make is a outline layer. The next layer we're going to make is the enter. For the outline layer, we're going to make the line width. We're going to make the line width 0.3 millimeters. Press OK. All right. No, for the outline layer is 0.3. All right, this layer will we're gonna put the curve on it, so we're gonna call it curve. This layer, layer 1, I'm gonna call it curve. It will be the curve. All right. And then the next layer we need is a text layer, okay? And we're gonna let the line weight be the default, all right? Now, when you're making a layer, the new layer that you're making will inherit the properties of the current layer. So that is why I have to change it from 0.3 to the default, right? All right, so we have our layers, text, construction. Right, so we're gonna close this. All right. We can check the grid. The grid is 10, so that is okay. We're gonna check our snap. Our snap is equal to the grid, which is 10. So both the grid and the snap are 10 in today's class. So the first thing that we'll be doing in the drawing of the hyperbola given the eccentricity is to draw the axis. So we're going to change our layer to the construction layer, and we're going to draw a horizontal line to represent the axis. All right, so we're going to shift this down a little bit. All right, so that it is centered. All right, so we're going to draw a line. This line will represent the axis. And enter, we're going to draw the directrix. The length of the axis on the directrix isn't important, okay? You can extend it and draw it at any distance if the distance wasn't given. All right, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to label the axis and the directrix so you can follow along easily. So I just changed my text layout and I'm going to type the words axis. All right, so I'm going to turn off my snap and I'm going to choose right here as a starting point. The height of the text will be 8, press enter. The rotational angle will be 0, press enter. Then now I type the word in caps, axis. All right. All right, I'm going to also label the directrix so that you can follow along easily. So enter to get the last command. I want to start it right here. The height would be 8. The rotational angle in this case would be 90. So I type 90, press enter. Then when I type the word Directrix, when I press enter, label Directrix, and for it would be north to south because I typed 90 degrees for the rotational angle. The next thing we're gonna do we're gonna draw the focus, right? So the focus is, we're gonna draw a line to represent where the focus is. All right, so you can follow along. You don't have to draw the line. So I'm gonna go construction, and I'm gonna draw a line. So the focus will be at 40 millimeters, just like in the previous video yesterday. All right, so this line represents where the focus is, all right? So we're gonna label it, okay? All right, so we're gonna go text layer. I'm gonna select single line text because I'm just writing the letter F. I'm gonna turn off snap so it doesn't snap the grid. I'm gonna choose right here as a starting point. The height would be 8 millimeters, so press enter. Now the rotational angle from the last command, it was 90 degrees. So here I have to enter 0 degrees, so it will be horizontal to the XY line. Press enter, and then we're going to type a capital F for the focus, just like that. All right, good. All right, so having set out the focus from the directrix, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna put the dimension on it for you, all right? So you can always know that it is 40 millimeters. I'm gonna put it on for you, all right? So there it is, 40 millimeters, all right? So that is given, all right? Now, the eccentricity for the hyperbola that we are drawing today is 3 upon 2, okay? So the eccentricity is 3 upon 2. So we can actually label that so you can follow along. So I'm going to go to my text layer, and I'm going to go single line text because I'm just writing a single line text. All right, so single line text, we select it. We're going to indicate the starting position. So I'm going to put it below here. All right, so the height, I'm going to make it 6 millimeters. Enter rotational angle 0. So I'm going to type eccentricity. E-C-C-E-N-T. So if you are doing this question, you would write the eccentricity beside it. So the eccentricity is, for today's video, is 3 divided by 2. So the eccentricity for today's video is 3 divided by 2. That is a ratio which the point would move in respect to the focus on the directrix to give us the hyperbola, which is a curve we are drawing today, okay? All right. All right, so that's the eccentricity. All right, let us move it up a little bit, and then we can move it after so that we can center the drawing. All right, so I'm gonna put it right there. All right. So we're gonna center the drawing so it is symmetrical. Right, good. So the eccentricity for today's video is 3 upon 2. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna divide the directrix, the distance from the directrix to the focus, into 5 equal parts, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to our construction layer. We're gonna draw a line at any angle at any length. All right, enter. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna mark our 5 equal arcs on this construction line. We're gonna mark an arc. All right, so we're gonna go 3-point arc, center start, end. So we go there. We're gonna turn off ortho. We're gonna turn off snap. Gonna make the radius 10. I'm gonna draw the R. There it is. We're gonna do the same thing again. So I'm gonna come here, center start, end. The center would be, we need object snap. Good, center. The radius will be 10. Enter. Gonna do the same thing again. Radius will be 10. Gonna mark that arc. So I need 5 equal spaces, all right? So we're gonna go arc, center, 10, enter. I'll come back again. Then, all right, so that's 5, right? So what we're doing, we're dividing this line, which is where the axis intersect the directrix, that will be D, and we're dividing the line DF into 5 equal parts. So we got 5. The eccentricity is 3 upon 5. When you add 3 and 5, we get 5 units. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna draw a line from F, the focus, to the last point. Enter. All right. So what we're gonna do now, we're going to we need 3 upon 5. So it will be this thing here. What we're going to do, we're going to copy. If you are using a set square, it would take 2 set square and you would slide it parallel from this line to the second division, right? So we press enter, we choose this point, and we copy it up there. So this is how we would slide a line parallel get a line parallel in article. With the T square and set square, you would line up the set square on this one, and you put the other set square below it and you slide it up there. Now what we need to do, we need to trim. To trim this line, right, there it is, good. Now this point represents the vertex on the hyperbola, all right? That's the last point, that's the turning point for the, because we're going to label it text. We're going to go to our text, and we're going to single line text because we're just writing a letter. We have come to the end of the construction of the hyperbola. In the next video, we'll be continuing the construction of the hyperbola. We're looking forward to seeing you. Take care until we meet again. Bye. Thanks for watching the video. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, and share.